I go to work so that others can stay home. Pretty sure you've seen that a couple times online somewhere, social media, whole sorts of social media efforts to support the idea of flattening the curve. And if you have no idea what flattening the curve is, then you may have been living under a rock recently. Coronavirus and COVID-19, the SARS-CoV-2 virus that has spread across the world, the current pandemic is pretty much overtaken my life. I don't know about anybody else's. Life from a professional's perspective hasn't changed much other than the tireless efforts that we're doing in my job to prepare for the worst. Can't share those details, but I can tell you that I'm pretty damn proud where I work. So, waiting for the surge, waiting for shiz to get real. I know that in the coming weeks, if not by the time you watch this, that I'll probably be living at the hospital. There are some things that I'm doing as a nurse practitioner, as a healthcare provider who works in the front lines. There are some things that we're doing in our house to try and minimize the possibility of exposure, of transmission. The biggest thing is the decontamination area that we have for me since I work at the hospital. We have a decon area for when I enter the house. We enter the house through the garage and then into the mudroom. So in that utility area, we've designated a certain area for me to basically strip down in my birthday suit and take all the clothes that I wear from work, goes into a hamper, and at the end of my shifts we wash all those clothes separately from the remainder of the house laundry. There's a set of clothes sitting out on the washer dryer for me to change into when I first walk into the house. Disinfectant wipes are everywhere. They're in our vehicles, in both my car and my wife's car. We have disinfectant wipes everywhere in the house. We have alcohol swabs, alcohol wipes that we use. Hand sanitizers, of course, everywhere. One of the things that I got that was a gift several years ago from our attending physicians in the critical care department, which now is a very hot commodity, something that my wife and I are using, which is the phone soap. Something that you can Google. Pretty sure it won't matter, but to my knowledge, from what I understand, they're completely sold out everywhere. But they provide UV light. You lay your phone into this container. You can actually charge your phone, but you lay the phone in the container, and UV light it goes through a treatment of UV light for I quite honestly don't know how long, and I don't really know how effective it is, but I'm willing to accept that any effect is better than none. We're washing our hands like it was our jobs these days, not only while I'm at work, but at home. Some of the things that you don't think of, you gotta make sure and wash your hands. The delivery of anything, the delivery of mail, the delivery of packages, delivery of food, anything that comes from the outside of your house to the inside of your house, if you are manipulating it with your hands in some way, you got to make sure you wash your hands. So every time that you touch the mail, you got to wash your hands. Everything that you have packages that come in the mail, you got to wash your hands. Saw a news segment a while back that recommended that you leave your package on your covered porch, or leave it somewhere for it to sit for 24 hours so that the potential for there being virus on it, that it can only live on surfaces for so long. And the information that we have is continually changing and fluid, and reports are out there, everything from 4 hours up to 72 hours that the virus could live on certain surfaces. I believe it lives on metal surfaces the longest, which I think is 72 hours. So keep that in mind when you're manipulating mail and delivered goods. Anytime that you go shopping, when you go for groceries, or whatever other shopping you're doing, when you're done manipulating all of those products, make sure you're washing your hands. These are things hopefully you're doing already, but these are the things that we in my household are doing. I utilize the wipes to wipe down my car every time I exit my car. So I wash down whatever's within my immediate space, and then I have leather seats, so I actually wipe down my leather seats with wipes that we have. I want to say antibacterial, but whatever kind of cleaning wipes that we have, they're some sort of Clorox disinfectant wipes. Like I said in my previous post, things are feeling a bit heavy right now, and I'm doing my best to maintain my emotional well-being, trying to making deposits into my emotional bank whenever I can, but it's tough. Times like these are tough. These are some pretty, I don't want to say dark times, but these are very stressful times, and I hope that everyone is doing their part. Hope that everyone is practicing social distancing as best they can, and I hope that everyone is staying safe. For those that are on the front lines who are already taking care of these patients, thank you, because I'm next. I am not going to recognize or talk about anything other than the fact that I work in an ICU in a larger city, and we're going to leave it at that. The surge is going to happen whether we like it or not. A couple posts I did a while back on social media, I think Instagram, it was a comment I made that it's not a question of if, but when. And in my area of the world, we're smack dab in front of that timeline when that surge is about to happen. Hopefully we've learned a few things from China and Hong Kong and unfortunately Italy. The death toll keeps rising. The number of transmitted cases keeps rising. I know. We don't have the proper testing, and I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to just try and give you some tips of what we're doing in my house to try and minimize it. I'm staying away from everywhere possible, kind of camping out in the house when I'm not at the hospital. We have to do shopping, so we do it sparingly. We have plenty of supplies. It's very difficult being a leader in the healthcare world right now as a nurse practitioner because everyone's eyes are on me, as well as everyone's eyes are on the frontline healthcare workers, looking for guidance, looking for a shred of hope, looking for accurate information, and looking to someone who is not panicking, who is not freaking out. And we as nurses, advanced practice providers, medical staff, healthcare workers, we have the weight of the world on our shoulders right now. Are we exclusive to this? No. I know that other workers out there who are still interacting in the public's eye, who are allowed to continue to work, they're having a tough time too. These are this is history in the making. We're not prepared for this. We haven't been prepared for it. And I, like many others in many parts of the country and many parts of the world, started out in the denial phase, and now we've battened down the hatches where I work and where I'm at. We have hopefully have prepared enough to handle the surge. I hope everybody stays safe, because it's going to get worse before it gets better. Not because of inadequacies in our approach or treatment processes. It's simply because of the progression, the known progression of this pandemic. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And I hope you're all staying safe.